Make sure my collar's good. It's not good. I don't know why I struggle with that. Maybe am I good, Kenny? Man, my wife's not here to dress me. We didn't start off very well. A little bit had to do with, we decided as a coaching staff to switch every ball screen. Just watching Miami on tape, they put so much pressure when they roll to the rim, and we felt like even if we were hedging, flat hedging, jumping, hard hedging, whatever you want to call it, go under, that was really going to present a problem for our 5 men because they just put you on skates. They're so quick, and I'm talking about Chris Likes and Zach Johnson. So for every time they would, go one-on-one against our big guy, at least we had a man on a man, whether it was on the perimeter when the guards were dancing against our bigs, or whether they had a big guy on a little in the post. And we just felt over time that didn't feel like they would make enough one-on-one plays as long as we could keep it to that to beat us. And every once in a while we would throw in a curveball and hard hedge the screen. But wasn't very good early, and it was much better late. And obviously, offensively, Jordan really got going in the first half. And it was good to see Ryan, after starting, I think, 0 for 5, 0 for 6, knock down shots. And that was Malik Williams' best game of the year. He's much better than any of our bigs when it comes to switching those type of things and keeping his length in front of the ball. So, I know Miami's a little depleted, but they're uber talented. And it's a good win. Start off conference play for us. Bless you.
Hey, Coach, you said they got off to a slow start but then turned it around in the second half. How much of a slow start do you think, only playing 3 games in 15 days, do you think that has any effect on the guys?
Could, but, I would think our energy level would be much greater. Maybe our execution. I mean, we had a few too many turnovers early. I don't think we had one in the second half. But, I didn't think we played with enough energy and enough communication on a couple of our switches. Rust sometimes happens offensively, and we've worked so daggone hard on being a harder team to guard offensively. But I just thought it was lack of concentration, which is sort of tough to figure out when you've been off as long as we have.
What do you think the key was to the performance by Malik Williams, and how does he duplicate that? It was a matchup thing, or is this something he can duplicate?
We made a few adjustments for him, specifically offensively. It's we're trying to fit sometimes a square peg into a round hole. And I've got to get him on the floor a little bit more. But we can't play basketball 5 out. I mean, it's just really difficult. And so I thought Malik did a few really good things in the interior. He does so many good things on the interior defensively, and it was really good to see him break out. But we tried to make a few adjustments for him specifically to help us when he's at the 5.
Coach, Darius Perry has struggled as of late. What has been your message to him, and why do you think that is? Why do you think he's been struggling?
I don't know. He's just very inefficient right now. He turns the ball over at an alarming rate. I don't think he plays with a lot of energy, and we need him to, and we'd like him to. And he's got to choose to step up and play with energy and take care of the ball. And other guys are playing better, so we're going to play the guys that are the most efficient.
Following up on the question about Malik, you said you want to get him out on the floor. What exactly do you want to achieve there?
Well, I think sometimes you think, hey, it's just pick and pop and shooting threes. That's a small part of it. But if his man is extended on some type of screening action, whether it's an on-the-ball, screen Tim, or off the ball, and he can gain separation, Malik's got a quick first step. He can rip the ball and get to the rim, and, giving him the ability to maybe have sort of free rolls to the rim where he's not necessarily, rolling and replacing with a lot of traffic. We need to get Malik in space. Again, partly to shoot the ball, partly to get his defender in closeout situations, much like we do with our perimeter players. There's only so much floor space on the perimeter, though, because you have 5 guys out there. But he was a lot more effective in what we were doing with him tonight.
How is Ryan so effective at distributing the ball, and how do you duplicate that?
Well, Ryan is so deadly from beyond the arc, and when his man so much as sees Ryan going into any type of shooting motion, like he's going to commit. He has to. And when he does that, as long as Ryan is strong with the ball when he gets in the lane, he's got really good vision. He's got great IQ and awareness. But sometimes he melts against contact. We need him to be a little bit more sturdy, a little bit more physical. And when he does that, he finds the right guys for the majority of the time. So he's more, as I said, he's more than just a shooter. He's made more twos this year than he has in his entire career, I think, combined. And, he's made plays for others. And so we need that type of play out of Ryan. I got to get him out there a little bit more so he can get lost in the game, get lost in transition. And that's exactly what happened tonight.
Chris, in the second half there, that run, I think it was 16-2 or somewhere around the middle of the half. Was there anything in particular that you probably did better during that stretch? I know you found it seemed like somebody would hit 1 or 2 3 in a row and really got on a roll.
Well, I think it started with our defense. We've got multiple stops, and we're a team that likes to play in transition. I give our guys freedom to do that. I think we have a lot of threats. On the break, whether it's Ryan and Jordan flying on the wings, whether it's Dwayne Sutton getting to the rim. I think CC's got really good vision. It starts with our defense. When we get stops like we did in that stretch, then I think we're a lot more difficult to guard because we have 4 guys that'll bring the ball up at any time. It's not always, hey, get it to the point guard and let him push it.
Chris, how vital was that run that Jordan went on in the first half, and do you think it freed some of your other guys up?
We needed it because we were not very good offensively, and I don't know if him knocking a couple down gave our guys confidence. But again, we started to get stops in the second half of the first half, and that allowed us to, close the gap like we did. But him getting going was a godsend at the time because we couldn't generate any good offense there for a while.
Chris, have you ever seen that big a size disparity in a box and one? And how do you feel like your guys adjusted to that kind of junk defense?
I thought we did a great job. I thought we got the shots that we wanted. I thought we hit the glass. I think that, it's different. And we weren't going to spend an hour in practice. Coach had mentioned it in his scouting or in his press conference after they played NC State. Felt like if, I don't know who it was for NC State, if he got going, they were going to go to it. So our attack was very similar when they were in their 1-2-2. We made Jordan the screener on a lot of times because they don't like to necessarily switch from who has the Jordan to the next guy. And so I didn't think it was as effective as it could have been, which give our guys credit.
Chris, I think Ryan was about 4 of 28 or 4 of his last 30 from 3. You mentioned getting him out there more and letting him play in the game, but do you think that was the key to him starting to hit some jump shots again, or why do you think he was struggling?
Well, you know how it is. If you've played and you feel like coach is going to pull you, I have so much confidence in Ryan. Like, he could miss 50 in a row, and I think the next one's going in. And there was one time where he passed up a shot, I think threw it to Dwayne or somebody, and they made the 3. And it was a good play by Ryan, but I looked at him, I said, you were open. I want you shooting it every single time because he's such a weapon. It stretches the floor for other guys over time. So I don't worry about any streaks that he goes on, although it would be nice if he made the majority of them like I see in practice.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys.